located the biohazard container.
Device set. Base device.
10 seconds. 5 seconds to insertion. Op 4 drone has located the biohazard container.
Grenade out.
Camera activated.
Shell out. 너무 조용하군. 오케이.
Setting C4.
One friendly operator remaining. Op 4 is securing the container. Stop the hostiles from securing the container. They've ceased attempting to secure the container. Op 4, last operator standing.
Mercy.
All friendlies were eliminated. Mission failure. Secure the room. We need to protect the biohazard container.
Reloading.
Down to 10 seconds. 5 seconds.
Camera activated.
Op 4 hasn't found the biohazard container. They will attempt to locate it during the assault.
Shell out.
Barricaded door!
말보다는 행동이지.
Reinforced door!
너무 조용하군.
You are being hunted down. You're exposed.
오케이.
You are being followed. You are being tracked. Op 4, last stop standing.
말보다는 행동이지.
Op 4 has spotted the biohazard container. They've ceased attempting to secure the container. Friendly is victorious. Hostiles eliminated. Op 4 has a 20 on the hostage.
Loading new mag.
Op 4, last operator standing. Friendly's victorious. Hostiles eliminated. Need to find the hostage.
Virgin.
Hostage located. Ten seconds to insertion. Insertion in 5 seconds. Hostage in sight.
Mounting rifle shield.
Get here, Blackbeard.
Four last operator standing.
Calling phone.
Launching code.
Protect your stage.
I have secured the hostage.
Hostage has been dropped. Secure the hostage. We have been eliminated.
Seriously, guys? Seriously?
You need to protect the hostage. Secure the room. Hostage location compromised. Friendly has injured the hostage. Hostage stabilized by friendly. Down to 10 seconds. 5 seconds and counting.
Lost door.
Be advised, Op 4 has visual on the hostage.
Device set.
Impact clear. 조용하군.
It's a blitz.
I injured Jackal.
Last operator standing. Mission failed. All friendlies were eliminated.
Sad, dude.
Sad dude.
Use your drone to locate a bomb.
Kusje.
Your drone has found a bomb. Ten seconds to go. Insertion in 5 seconds. The diffuser has been recovered. Proceed to bomb's location and defuse it.
Breach charge in place. I'm empty. Breach charge going up.
You have dropped the diffuser. Down to one friendly. We have been eliminated. Secure the bombs.
Setting trauma pack here.
Bomb location compromised. Plan accordingly.
Position device. Set device. Ambush set. Stay clear.
Op 4 has located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
Loading new mag!
Place device.
Wait, plan. Stay clear of blast zone.
Loading the mag. Doorway trap. Blast zone. EDD prime. Stand clear. Vamos a lo hago.
Ash is down.
Op 4, last stop standing. Friendly,
Hatch.
last operator standing.
Hatch above objective. It's Vermite. He's planting.
All friendlies were eliminated. Mission failure. Need to use your drone to locate a bomb.
Kitchen.
Be advised your drone has located a bomb. Your drone has found a bomb. Ten seconds. 5 seconds. The diffuser has been recovered. You found a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
Ready to breach.
Reloading!
Fuse over here and there. Just fucking fuse them.
Op 4 last stop standing. Sensor is active, protected at all costs. Op 4 eliminated. Secure the bombs.
Take some trauma, please.
Secure the 4!
Wall reinforced!
10 seconds to insertion.
Station device.
5 seconds left.
Device activated.
Increased
Wall
surveillance on bombs.
reinforced!
Op 4 has a diffuser.
Impact.
Device placed.
Reload!
Located target. Reload.
Nice spot, TCC.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, forgive me not.
He's inside here.
Last stop standing.
Diffuser and stairs.
Last one is Jakar, by the way. He's at stairs.
One friendly operator remaining.
Half HP.
Op
Very
4
nice.
eliminated. Mission successful. Secure the area. Keep the bombs protected.
Setting nitro cell.
Reinforcing the wall!
10 seconds.
Ambush set. Stay
5 seconds and counting. You must protect your bombs from being defused by Op 4.
Stay clear. Device primed. Keep an eye on door.
Bible and Hinduism.
Op 4, last operator standing. Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful. location compromised. Plan accordingly.
Changing mags! Shell out.
10 seconds. 5 seconds.
Barbed wire is up.
Op 4 has located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
말보다는 행동이지.
Twitch dead.
오케이.
Reload!
Dukai be dead.
Swapping mags!
Hvorfor spiller jeg ikke her?
Reloading!
Cover me!
Nest ready. Lay the nest.
One friendly remaining. Op 4 has placed a diffuser near a bomb. Destroy it. Mission failed. All friendlies were eliminated. We need to locate a bomb. Drone has located a bomb.
Lesion.
10 seconds to insertion. 5 seconds to go. The diffuser is now secured. Proceed bomb's location and defuse it.
Stay behind me.
Kev dead.
I give them a call. Laying down some smoke. We move carefully.
Four last operators
He's
standing.
dead.
You must recover the diffuser. Op 4 eliminated. Friendly mission successful. Protect the bombs. Located a bomb. Plan your defenses accordingly. Be advised, Op 4 has found a bomb.
Swamping!
1, 2,
10
3.
seconds remaining. 5 seconds left. Op 4 has located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
Two people there.
Reloading!
Op 4 last stop standing.
Very
Friendly's
nice.
victorious. Hostiles eliminated. drone to locate a bomb.
Same place.
Ten seconds to go. 5 seconds before insertion. The diffuser has been secured. A bomb must be located and defused.
Watch my back.
The diffuser is no longer in your possession. The diffuser is now secured.
Drone deployed.
The diffuser has been recovered.
Watch for the blast.
Hostile! Second floor! Targets detected.
Blast area.
Must recover the diffuser. Bomb has been located. Diffuser has been secured. Withdraw the diffuser.
Ela 50 HP.
The diffuser is now secured.
Deploying Claymore. Hostile located. Second floor.
One friendly operator remaining. You must recover the diffuser. The diffuser has been recovered.
Ela be coming upstairs. Ela behind you, behind you. She's going towards you, Capital. Behind you. Very nice.
Op 4 eliminated all friendlies.
I like.
We need to locate a bomb.
Same please. Bandit.
10 seconds. 5 seconds to go. The diffuser is now secured. You must locate and defuse a bomb.
Smoke in front of plane. And Vigil. Vigil still in cockpit.
Drone activated. Scanning. Stay sharp. Drone activated.
Bandit
Op
first
4
floor.
last stop standing.
Scanning for electronics.
Bomb has been located. Op 4 eliminated. Need to use your drone to locate a bomb. Your drone has found a bomb. Seconds to insertion. 5 seconds to go. Drone has located a bomb. The diffuser is now secured. Proceed to bomb's location and defuse it.
Reloading.
Reach charge in place.
Accepting this target. Breaching their firewall. Broken them.
Diffuser is active. Protected at all costs. Op 4 last operator standing. Op 4 eliminated. Protect the bombs.
AT is active in this sector.
10 seconds remaining. Op 4 has located a bomb. Plan your defenses accordingly. 5 seconds and counting. Op 4 has located a bomb. Be ready for hostile action. One friendly remaining. Mission failed. All friendlies have been neutralized. Need to use your drone to locate a bomb.
Cash.
10 seconds. Insertion in 5 seconds. The diffuser is now secured. A bomb must be located and defused. You have dropped the diffuser. The diffuser has been secured.
Drone activated.
Located a bomb. You have located a bomb. Op 4 last stop standing.
I see you.
Swapping mag! Cluster charge activated.
Op 4 eliminated. Friendly mission successful. Secure the area. Keep the bombs protected. Op 4 located a bomb. Protect it.
Stay clear of ADS line of fire.
Down to 10 seconds.
ADS deployed and ready to go.
Down to 5 seconds. Op 4 has located a bomb. Be ready for hostile action.
fast.
Unrolling razor wire. Enemy spotted. Loading mag. Razor wire going up. Swapping mag. Frag out.
You have entered an enemy-controlled area. Leave now. You will be detected if you remain in this area. Mission critical. Bomb diffuser activated. Diffuser located. Protect the bomb. Disable the diffuser. Op 4, last operator standing. Bomb diffusing device is disabled. The diffuser has been disabled. Friendly mission is a success.
Possibly German territory.
This is Complex Conversations, the business of esports. Video games have become a spectator sport with an audience that dwarfs traditional major sports events. So we've assembled the experts to break down the big business behind the gameplay. Featuring WME IMG VP Sales and Global Partnerships for Esports and host, Amari Oliver. WME IMG Global Head of Esports, Tobias Sherman. Video game producer and Echo Fox CEO, Jace Hall. OGN analyst, esports consultant, Christopher Monte Cristo Michaels. Superstar DJ, record producer, and co-owner of Team Rogue, Steve Aoki. You're invited to the conversation.
So the first question to all the panelists, and we'll start with Steve on my far left. When and why did you get involved in esports, and what was that moment for you when you were like, this is what I want to do?
Well, I've been a gamer since I was a little kid, and
They're losing to a team that is playing so remarkably well.
Huge 28-3, 22 minutes in, the quickest in this series. He goes down and across the map. They will go to the World Championships as the #1 seed. Oh my God!
With hundreds of millions of hardcore gamers and thousands of global tournaments each year, computer games are well on their way to becoming the world's biggest sports.
This is the computer game that we are all gathered here to watch. A computer game.
And at the center of everything is a whole new breed of celebrity, the esports superstar.
I guess essentially I'm a 21-year-old who's a millionaire through gaming. Yo, I'll take it.
The best players have left their bedrooms to compete in the world's biggest stadiums. Offered up athletic visas and sports scholarships, athletes play for up to 18 hours a day in dedicated gaming houses, always under the watchful eyes of their agents and coaches. For those who work hard and keep their heads together, real fame and wealth await, with cash prizes going into the millions. But as quickly as their stars can rise, they can also come crashing down when the pressure of top-level competition proves too much to handle. With the screaming fans, the huge cash prizes, and above all, the glory, the pressure has never been this great. Welcome to the world of esports.
Over the past few months, we've heard one thing from everyone who's involved in esports, and that's that it's here in South Korea, where as far as professional gaming is concerned, this is home. It's a country where you'd be hard-pressed to find a street that didn't have at least one gaming cafe, or PC bong as they call it. It's a country with its own dedicated esports stadiums, and where young men can achieve celebrity status purely by being very, very good at computer games. But most importantly, it's here in Seoul, where for the first time ever, the League of Legends World Championship will be held, making this one of the biggest gaming events in all of history. We're in Chamseo Olympic Park in Seoul, South Korea for the League of Legends World Semifinals. And it's going to be Samsung Blue versus Samsung White, the two Korean teams. And then after that, it's going to be Team OMG, which does stand for Oh My God, and Starhorn Royal Club playing against each other. As you can see, it's a beautiful day. The sun's out. It's really hot. It's a perfect day, really, to sit indoors in a dark room for hours and watch some professional video games.
My name's Joseph, but everybody calls me Calcep. People tend to know who you are pretty easily, which is another advantage of wearing a Cal costume. Style. I like it.
Are you guys an item?
예. 사귀고 있어. 커플이에요.
Would you guys say that couples who play together stay together?
아무래도 좋아하는 거랑 취미를 공유하는 거나 마찬가지이기 때문에 오래 사귈 수 있는 것 같아요.
Other than the matches themselves, the biggest appeal of any esports event is the cosplay. In Korea, cosplay isn't just a hobby, it's a full-time professional career. Entire teams dress up like computer game characters so that fans can get a sense of being closer to the game and take pictures with the champions they play online. In many ways, the cosplay teams are the cheerleaders of the esports world, and they get almost as much fanfare as the athletes themselves.
Wow. Do you wish that you could be your character in real life? Why not?
전 평범하게 살고 싶습니다.
One of the cosplay groups here is called Spiral Cats, and they've invited us into their dressing room to see how they get dressed in their cosplay outfits. Is it okay if I come in? I've just noticed there's not a lot of coverage with your armor. How would that actually work in battle?
한국에서는 이렇게 여자의 이렇게 뭐랄까 매력이 드러나는 부위 이런 거를 이렇게 좀 나타내 주는 걸 그러는데 그러니까 그런 거를 갖다가 외국에서 어떻게 얘기하는데 한국에서는 이건 방어도가 높다라고 표현을 많이 해요. 예쁘게 하고 나가면 주변에 아군들의 그 사기가 올라가지 않을까.
Are you not boiling hot inside of that? Is there a leg bit that goes with it, or is it just top half giant purple monster, bottom half jorts?
Thank you.
What's that giant syringe for? What is that? The furry one, the steampunky one, the kind of kinky one, and the wizard one, they're all amazing. I'm kind of jealous of the Hulk's job. I'd put on a purple fat suit all day in the sun if it meant I got to hang out with these 4 spiral cats. Yeah, definitely. So we're entering the semi-final with the spiral cats. Basically, they're making me look a lot cooler, but I'm completely cramping their style.
There are more League of Legends players in the world than there are people in France. With 67 million monthly users, it's the most popular esport. And out of that 67 million, 10 of the best players were about to compete in this stadium. The match was between 2 Chinese teams, Starhorn Royal Club and the much-feared OMG, nicknamed the Forces of Darkness by the Chinese media. Before each game starts, players' portraits come up on a big screen with their gamer aliases underneath. Names like Uzi, Looper, and a guy known simply as Cool. Both groups would already be taking home at least 150K, but only one would win the chance to play Samsung White in the finals for $1 million. As their characters appeared on screen, the crowd went wild. The games had begun.
These guys are about to write a new story for us here, sci-fi.
You can change the color depending on which team you're supporting. So you can look into the crowd and see which team is the most popular based on the colors. Weirdly enough, the only other show that I know this has been done at is Coldplay.
They hold him up. Shockwave comes in. Cola is going to go very low. They're actually trying to kill off Uzi at the bottom. And they won't do it right. It'll be easy peasy.
Sounded like that guy was having an esports orgasm.
Corn just tries to come off the fountain. They want to pick up kills. Corn go on back just at the end. But solid victory in game 1 for OMG. Very much controlled the game, controlled the lanes from the very start.
Between every game, there's a huge line of Spiral Cats fans who just queue up just to take a picture with these girls. There's going to be about 6,000 pictures on Twitter tonight that all look exactly the same. Just one guy in the middle of 2 Spiral Cats. Thing is, Tasha actually said that I was very handsome earlier, so...
Is everybody having a great time? Do you guys want some swag? Let's bring out the swag!
As soon as a match would finish, fans would leap out of their seats and run to the front of the stage. Why? Because of a little thing known as swag. Not hip-hop swag, but esports swag, which comes in the form of small styrofoam figurines that are continuously thrown out into the audience.
I think it's pretty obvious that there's a lot of swag in this room right now.
Welcome back to the 2014 World Championship. Who will face Samsung White in the final?
My first swag experience was unsuccessful, and I went back to the Spiral Cats empty-handed, only to find that my seat had been taken by somebody else.
How's it going? Is someone sitting here? Can I sit here? Kind of annoyed because there's some people sitting with the Spiral Cats right now, and it's kind of my thing, so might have to have a word with them in a bit. So apparently the guys who stole my seats next to Spiral Cats are talking to them right now are actually the American team Cloud9, so they're really famous esports stars.
My alienation from the glamorous world of the esports elite was about to become way more obvious, because the guy who took my seat was one of its A-list celebs. His name was Hai, and he was the captain of Cloud9, America's best team.
Hey man, I was just wondering, we were... Oh, sorry. We're making a documentary about esports, and we were filming with the Spiral Cats earlier. I know you guys are from Cloud9. I was wondering if you'd be interested in like a quick interview with...
Yeah, can you later, like after the next game?
Yeah, sure, whenever you want, man. Yeah.
Will you be here?
Yeah, be right here. Cool.
I'll find you later.
Cool. Cheers, man.
But what did I expect? He may not be a household name, but in this world, Hai was hot shit, and I had no League of Legends skills to my name.
They try again to heal on the fountain, but this whole time the Nexus is falling. The Nexus super low, just a couple more hits will do it, and there it is. Starhorn Royal Club take down OMG to move through to the 2014 World Championship Finals.
So the stage was set. The Chinese Starhorn Royal Club would be competing against the Korean Samsung White for $1 million and the coveted Summoners Cup.
The atmosphere was absolutely crazy when they won. The Chinese fans especially were just going mental. So now we're going to go head to the press junket and see if we can catch an interview with some of the players.
Having EDG out of the way already for the semi-finals, how did that affect you, since they've won 4 LPLs, and then also that they beat you in the qualification so that you got a direct seed into Worlds?
The fact that we were able to beat them on such a bigger stage, such as the World Championships, like I think that's a lot happier. It makes it a much more happier achievement.
The Spiral Cats had left me for Hai, America's esports superstar, and I couldn't even get a question in edgewise at the press junket. We were quickly learning how difficult it was going to be to penetrate this exclusive world with its own A-list celebrities and its own rules.
So when I was growing up, I played a lot of computer games. I played a lot of strategy games, and I thought that I was really good at those games, but I was annoyed that being good at those games didn't make me cool. It didn't make girls like me, whereas being good at a physical sport like football, girls would like me for that. Well, in the Western countries that I grew up in, England and America, esports never kind of rose to the same level of a sport. Here in Korea, they did.
Luckily, for those of us who are past our competitive gaming prime, there are plenty of other gigs available in the esports industry. Equally as famous as the players themselves are the professional commentators known as shoutcasters. Their energetic play-by-play analysis is one of the biggest draws for fans.
XPK snuck around the side, teleported into the base, and then he's on the Nexus, and I'm like, oh, this is happening. Oh, okay, this is happening.
He's a completely different type of player. He's on a completely different level. We've got the consistent players and we got the clutch players. Pekka is consistently a clutch player.
It's going to be some big damage. The exhaust to stay in range. Oh my gosh, they actually pull off the kill as well. You can see the crowd is even stunned on that one.
To find out what it takes to become a shoutcaster, I went for a lesson at Nice Game TV, one of the forerunning online esports stations in Seoul.
Let's go see your studios.
This is our webcam.
Oh wow, so we're live right now.
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
이렇게 라이브 캐스팅 같이 하고 이제 요거 같은 경우가 저희 이제 채팅 시청자들 같이 보는 걸로 같이 이야기하면서 인터넷 스트리밍 장점이 그거다 보니까 그렇게 진행.
The amount of people watching this right now is just insane. The screen's just scrolling through hundreds and hundreds of messages. People saying gay, bye, hey, hi, I love you. No, not gay. What the fuck? Hey, gay TV, nice gay TV. Hi, yeah, I can see you're all saying hi, and look forward to our documentary about esports where you'll all feature and all of your very mature comments on my sexuality. Nice. We're gonna do a live stream of a League of Legends games, and I don't really know much about the game, but hopefully I'll be able to learn as we go. So what's going on here?
지금 뭐 시간 끄는 거고 다른 거다 라인전이 중요하기 때문에 바텀이 굉장히 중요한데 블리츠를 고르는 이상 일단 라인전에서 일단 승리해야 된다고 잘 걸었죠.
지금 좋았고요.
예.
I agree.
예. 하지만
근데 일단 마우카이 들고 리신 역갱. 짠. 하면서 링턴 펀치.
거기다가 이미
Oh, he almost killed him, right?
Yeah, that's right. e스포츠에서는 보통 공용어로 제일 많이 나오는 단어가 이제 게임이 끝났을 때 유명 GG?
Yeah, GG, good game.
네, 게임 끝나게 되면은 다 같이 GG!
Okay.
자 경기 넥서스 포인트입니다.
GG!
매트는 뭐 어떻게 보셨어요?
They initiated when they need to initiate. I mean, I had no question that they were going to win from the beginning. They really deserve this. They put 110% in, and it's great to see them win.
네, 뭐 이렇게 벌써부터 말하는 스피드도 뭔가 한국식 중계토를 맞춰가는 게 아닌가.
He's expert.
네, 그런 생각이 듭니다. 이렇게 해서 재밌었던 첫 번째 경기는 여기서 마무리하고 저희는 잠시 후에 뵙도록 하겠습니다.
In addition to broadcasting, Nice Game TV also train up-and-coming talent. They introduced us to two young gamers who had just been scouted by a professional team.
How many hours do you put in per day or per week?
일주일이면은 84시간 아닌가? 88시간 일주일에. 자고 씻고 밥 먹는 시간을 빼고는 그냥 컴퓨터 앞에서 사는 거죠.
Do you have a plan if it doesn't work out in gaming?
없어요.
So we've just left the Nice Game TV studios where we met some of the world's future esports stars. They have this almost robotic dedication to the game where they're playing 14 or 15 hours. I can only imagine what effect that must have on a young person's mind and life.
Internet addiction is said to affect 2 million South Koreans and half of its entire teenage population. In 2011, Congresswoman Shin Wee-jin passed a law known as the Cinderella Act, putting internet addiction in the same category as drugs and alcohol, and preventing children under the age of 16 from playing online games after midnight.
사실 중독의 원인은 술도 될 수 있고 도박도 될 수 있습니다. 물론 인터넷 게임도 가능합니다.
By making them use their national identity numbers, children's online accounts now automatically shut down when the clock strikes 12. The Cinderella Act created an uproar in the gaming community, who found political representation in a gaming congressman named Byun Jo-hoon. Spearheading the campaign, the congressman dressed up in League of Legends cosplay in solidarity with the gamers. As head of the Korean Esports Association, he was also cleverly enticing the votes of Korea's rapidly expanding gamer demographic. But despite the gamers' retaliation, a quarter of those diagnosed with internet addiction will end up being hospitalized in a government-sponsored internet rehab center.
I'm in the waiting room. I'm here to meet a guy called Dr. Lee Jae-won. We've heard that he has some pretty unorthodox methods of treating people with computer game addiction. We've heard something about brain scans with electrodes, virtual reality therapy, and some kind of magnetic brain pulse. I don't know anything about neuropsychiatry, and I certainly don't know anything about brain pulse therapy. So I'm especially curious to find out how those methods can help cure someone who plays too many computer games. What are the types of people who suffer from internet addiction?
청소년층이라는 것은 나이가 좀 어린일 경우에 이게 이제 중독의 위험성은 나이가 어리다는 것 자체가 위험 인자라고 이제 생각할 만큼 굉장히 높아지게 마련이거든요.
How much of this is a result of specifically online gaming?
저희 나라는 거의 대부분 90% 이상이 온라인 게임 애딕션입니다. 그래서 일단은 가장 첫 번째 기초가 되는 게 검사고요. 브레인 스캔이 먼저가 되겠죠, 아무래도.
Sitting here has made me realize that if I actually was a gaming addict, how terrifying this would be if my parents had forced me to be here and a doctor was putting electrodes on my head. Whoa.
In 2005, a young South Korean man dropped dead after playing StarCraft for 50 hours straight. And since then, the perceived dangers of gaming addiction have been a considerable source of anxiety for Korea's older generations. But generally, the most extreme symptoms of gaming addiction are sleep deprivation, mood swings, and seizures.
Every time I hear that clicking noise from the next room, I know that someone's getting their brain fried by magnetic shock therapy.
그래서 실제로 그냥 경험을 하기에는 조금 그런데요. 제가 머리에다 대고 그냥 한 번, 두 번 샥을 가하는 이런 정도로는 보여드릴게요.
Okay, cool.
자, 한번 해볼게요. 3, 2, 1.
It felt like someone had struck my bones with a tuning fork. But was I cured? To find out, I had to enter Dr. Lee's final stage of therapy, in which patients are sat in a chair and told to watch footage of violent video games, like the Ludovico technique from A Clockwork Orange, to see how much they can endure without getting the urge to game.
So this is the final stages of your treatment. What do you consider a cured patient?
치료에 대한 개념이 옛날과 조금 달라진 게요. 이제 본인 스스로 그러니까 예를 들면 마약 같은 경우에는 전혀 안 하는 게 치료의 목표가 되겠지만 이 인터넷이나 이런 것들은 사실은 아예 안 한다는 개념보다는 내가 스스로 정상적인 사람들처럼 조절해서 사용할 수 있는 상태를 만들어주는 게 치료의 어떤 이제 상태라고 생각을 해요.
Would you consider the professional gamers to be at risk of addiction or already addicted?
그래서 이제 재미난 이제 브레인 스캔을 한 연구 결과도 있습니다. 그래서 결론은 인터넷 중독자하고 프로게이머의 뇌는 다르다. 그래서 이거를 어디다 어떻게 놓고 사용하느냐에 따라서, 그러니까 자기 앞으로 어떤 미래 또 내가 어떤 목표가 있고 그거에 따라서 훈련하는데 인터넷 게임을 하는 거는 정상적인 뇌 활동에 방해가 되지 않는데 이걸 내가 뭐 어디서 대리 만족을 받아야 되는 또는 나의 그런 안에 이제 올라오는 이런 감정을 분출하기 위한 이런 대리 만족의 도구로 인터넷 게임을 사용을 하게 되면은 이거는 뇌에 이상을 계속 초래하게 된다는 이야기가 되는 거죠.
Whatever you think about this particular brand of brain zapping therapy, one thing is for sure. The speed at which gaming was taking over Korea was making a lot of people genuinely worried. In today's world of global comic cons, cosplay is everywhere, But much like esports, it's the Koreans who do it best. Costume competitions are almost as competitive as the esports leagues themselves, and teams who aim to win trophies have to treat it as a full-time career. We went to the outskirts of Seoul to meet one of Korea's top esports cosplay crews, Team CSL.
We're in a kind of peaceful, idyllic, suburban town, the kind of place you might want to retire to. In one of these houses is a cosplay team. There's knights, dragons, mythical creatures, all hanging out, while the community has no idea that unbeknownst to them, through there is a portal to a mythical world. It is a bit Twin Peaksy. I feel like I'm visiting my nan's house, except my nan wouldn't have a battle axe outside. Hi, how's it going?
Hello.
Hey guys, how are you? Hi. You guys make all your own costumes?
네, 이거 저랑 우리 대표님이랑 팀원들이 전부 다 우리들이 제작하거든요.
How can a human fit inside this?
무겁니?
But what about the practicality of this? I mean, you've never made a costume this big. What if it all just goes totally wrong and you fall over in front of hundreds of people?
슬플 것 같은데요? Too sad.
Most of our parents don't actually accept the hobby because they're like, it's a waste of time, and they think that costume play is for kids, so they don't understand what we get out of all this. My house is dirty, you are making a mess, and you're wearing a child's costume.
So I'm gonna try on a costume that they've picked for me. It's one of the League of Legends characters, and apparently it involves spandex. Okay, this might be really revealing, I'm warning you. How do I look? Okay, so is this my character?
Yeah.
What's his name?
House Israel.
What?
House Israel.
House Israel. Cool. Is he like a Zionist knight?
전부 다 입어보셨어요.
Okay, cool. So what's this? Is this my weapon?
Yes. You can turn on switch.
Is it doing anything?
Yes.
Yeah. Nice. This isn't as uncomfortable as I thought. I could totally just wear this all day. I might go out like this in the future. Do I look like a cyberpunk Kurt Cobain right now? Because that's what I feel like. So, Minne has just invited us to take his golf cart up to one of his favorite spots in town so I can look like this in an environment that's more suitable to League of Legends. There's only so much you can learn about the culture as a whole by watching people play computer games for hours on end. If you really want to understand gaming, dress up like a giant robot, get into the wilderness, and then you'll know that computer games are fucking awesome.
The Western world, with its slow internet speeds and prejudices about nerd culture, is still playing catch-up to Asia in the global esports scene. In fact, they're so far behind that their players are referred to as foreigners even by other Western commentators. But despite being seen as outsiders, Europe is a thriving esports hub with its own brand of celebrity culture and die-hard fans.
It's Sunday afternoon. We're at the London Olympic Park 2 years ago, this was built for actual sports, and now 2 years later, we're here in the same stadium watching esports. I'm not sure it's quite the athletic legacy that Boris Johnson had in mind, but it's kind of ironic that there's people in that building playing a virtual version of football.
I had heard about one British gamer who had amassed a fortune through gaming and video blogging, and his success story was a long way away from the stoic work ethic of his Korean counterparts. His name was KSI. At 21, KSI had made a fortune from posting videos of himself playing FIFA in his bedroom. With over 1 billion views, KSI has the second most watched YouTube channel in the UK.
Yo, you're working inside the Gjeldende, and today I've got something slightly different for you guys. We got a Q&A with Sarah here.
Matt.
Just Matt?
Yeah, for now, just Matt.
Today it's just Matt, and let's get on with the Q&A.
What floor are we on right now?
We're the highest floor.
Okay.
So this is, I guess, some people would say a penthouse.
You can see like literally outside of the border of London from here.
You can see like the Shard, you can see a few stadiums and stuff. It's, the view is phenomenal.
And you've got like a 360 view of all of London as well.
Essentially, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This is
where the magic happens?
Not yet. Nothing's happened here. It's in the other room actually, but...
Okay, cool.
These are all my shoes.
There's like quite a lot of gold in these shoes.
Yeah, these are Versace's.
What are the next big purchases you've got lined up?
Getting a jacuzzi.
Really?
Yeah, I'm getting a jacuzzi, like, right at the top.
Wow.
Pretty much, yeah. They'll have to get a helicopter to pick up the jacuzzi.
So you're getting a jacuzzi airlifted here?
Airlifted here, yeah.
So would you call yourself a pro?
A pro gamer? No, God no. God no. No. I'm definitely not a pro player. No. No
but
way.
Still you've managed to kind of achieve fame with FIFA and gaming as kind of like the vehicle that brought you there.
Yeah, definitely.
How did this all start?
How did it all start? In my bedroom, yeah. You know, I did a few videos here and there, and eventually it started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. More FIFA videos so you can relax. A lot of people think to be at the top you have to be the best at a certain game or this. No, you don't. Like, it's more about personality.
But how have you gotten to the place where you have a giant penthouse?
I'm now a brand, like KSI is a brand. Like, I have several incomes now. So I have my own shop. I'm in a group that also has a shop. I do music, I do acting, but the main income would definitely be through advertising. So obviously through my videos and views I get. Last month I got like 70 million views. It's crazy that it's all just come about from me sitting in my bedroom, just making a few FIFA videos.
So how many subscribers do you have?
In total, maybe like 9-10 million.
So, I mean, you're getting a jacuzzi airlifted into your flat.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, are you a millionaire?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah. I guess essentially I'm a 21-year-old who's a millionaire through gaming, vlogging, just my online experience, yeah. Yo, I'll take it.
As he took me for a spin in his bright orange Lamborghini, it was clear that KSI had earned more money than I would ever see in my entire life. KSI was a new kind of millionaire, and one that we'll be seeing a lot more of as gaming outpaces the music and film industries. I was interested in the different ways that esports entrepreneurs could stake their claims to the massively expanding fortune available through gaming. We had been invited to meet another larger-than-life character, a guy called Sam Matthews. Gamer, social media guru, and self-proclaimed party guy, Sam Matthews is the founding CEO of Europe's biggest hope at global gaming success, an esports team called Fnatic. The team were celebrating their 10-year anniversary on the rooftop of their East London headquarters.
If you look at our Facebook fan base, we had like 200,000 fans like a year and a half ago. Now we've got 1.4 million fans on Facebook. It's crazy that it's still underground. If you look at our team and you compare just our Facebook fans to those of the Premier League, you know, we have more fans than pretty much all of the Premier League except 4 teams. And it's like, who the hell's heard of Fnatic? I think that things like football, they're kind of limited in their scope, whereas something like video gaming, it's not just one sport. It's like having a football team and a tennis team and a cricket team all in one. So as a brand and a company, that's exciting because we can do interesting things with that. Esports isn't just these geeks in a room locked away. These guys are traveling around the world. They've got girls chasing them.
So this is my Twitter. This is a girl saying, "You perhaps lost this time, but you won something else. My heart, bae."
And I think that's what's really super exciting for me, is that I can see these young kids actually becoming superstars and earning like more money than I've earned. And it's like, it's just insane. And actually, you know, the coolest thing is that we make a ton of products. So we have like water bottles, headphones, like caps, and they sell. That's where we see the big growth opportunity, is kind of capitalizing on this young, impassioned user base that really see this as a movement, as a lifestyle choice. And it, just as much as back in the day it might have been like skateboarding, what we do believe is that eventually it will become much, much bigger than 90% of world sports. I really believe that.
As the sun set over Shoreditch, Sam Matthews took off his business hat and put on his party fedora.
I like to party. I mean, I like to dance. I love music so much. I mean, I've always been into music. I used to mix drum and bass on vinyl. You know, I've been recently a lot into tech house, deep house. And you know, I said free booze, rooftop in Shoreditch, and people came, you know?
And how late do you think you guys are going to go tonight? Like,
I don't know, there's another party going on, so we might go to that. And I think the cops might come soon because it's pretty loud for a roof terrace in residential areas. You know, don't mess with the cops. That's one lesson I'll teach you guys. Because I've learned the hard way? No, I'm joking.
We can break these chains.
Trailed by an entourage of beautiful women, Sam quickly took over the party, pushing the gamers to the edge of the dance floor and taking over the decks. He later ditched the barbecue to go to a series of after parties. Wherever there's money, there are people tagging along just for the party. And with all the money esports is generating, it's no wonder that the Lambos, the penthouses, and the groupies have been quick to follow. Sam wanted us to see his team in action, so we went to the European Championship at Gamescom in Cologne. With over 300,000 visitors, Gamescom is the highest attended gaming event in the world.
so we're here at a place called Gamescom. It's basically Nerdtopia. This is absolutely massive. It's bigger than any sporting event that I've ever been to. You've got fans of all different games. It's like going to an NFL match, a basketball match, and a football match all at once. Wasn't quite sure what was going on here, but I now realize it's a contest to see who can masturbate their invisible penis faster. That guy quite smugly just won that. He was very fast. I mean, I'm impressed. Kind of awkward. This girl's shotgun is a lot smaller than the other girl's shotgun. But what we're here to see really is the esports people. Alliance and Fnatic are going to play at 3 p.m. and the fans have already been there since 10 a.m. waiting for it.
Fnatic and Alliance going head to head with the #1 seed in the World Championships on the line. Put your hands together, we're about to get into the final.
As far as the majority of the crowd were concerned, Fnatic were destined to win the European Cup. But their opponents and arch rivals, Alliance, had other ideas. With some of the best players in Europe, they won the first 2 matches with relative ease.
After losing that second game, you could really see on their faces they were emotionally and physically drained. Their brains have been clicking at like a mile a minute. One of them was almost in tears. This is their livelihood. You know, their futures and their careers depend on winning this game.
Tabs is the one that's taking the damage, but it doesn't matter. The reset comes, the lead goes in, Peke goes down. It's just Reckless, the one man standing for Fnatic to prevent them going out.
Fnatic pulled it back in Game 3, with Reckless leading the charge. But in the fourth game, Alliance defeated the crowd favorites and claimed their title as champions of Europe.
Fnatic are dethroned as the champions of Europe. The new kings are Alliance.
While they didn't manage to win this time, the dedication of Fnatic's fanbase was immense, and even in defeat, there was a legion of supporters queuing up to take pictures with the team.
I've been watching Fnatic for a long time, and it's just amazing. Like, the players, they play so well. My heart's still beating to this point.
I made a cheerleader costume for the Fnatic team, and I was cheering them even if they lose. It is hard, of course. I really wanted that win.
Fnatic lost this time, and even if they hadn't, the chances of them going on to win in Asia were slim to none. But Sam Matthews had realized the bigger picture. There were about as many Fnatic t-shirts at Gamescom as there are Manchester United jerseys at Old Trafford. And that's the real ambition, a truly international sports brand. Win or lose, the European esports scene is a hugely lucrative industry. And when the real winner is the group with the biggest following, Fnatic have already won. The biggest game in esports history was only days away, the League of Legends World Finals.
All around Seoul are these things called PC bongs. And if you're not a gamer, you're not from Korea, you probably don't know what those are, but they're basically internet cafes with really nice computers where you can spend all day gaming.
Whereas in the West, we're more inclined to stay at home and play console games. PC bongs are a massive part of Korea's youth culture. It's not just about having fun either. The fact that there's a gaming cafe on every street corner is one reason that Korea is the dominant global force in esports. It's in these PC bongs that the country's future stars will be born.
Right away you can see this has got everything you need for a whole day of gaming. You've got no windows, so there's little to remind you of the outside world. Energy drinks go with gaming just like weed goes with reggae, and here you can get any kind of energy drink you want. And if you get a bit peckish, dried squid is only a few steps away. And even a VIP zone, which stands for very important person, or maybe in this case, very into PCs. This button just calls over an attendant to help you out with anything you need. Literally, you could just sit here all day. How late are you guys open today?
24시간. 젊은 애들은 이제 하나의 그 자기 생활의 일부분이 되어버려서 지금 어떤 누가 이제 게임을 하지 말아라 그런 얘기를 하면은 굉장히 기분 나쁘게 생각하는.
There's a biblical verse on the wall. The church PC bong parallel is an obvious one. You come here, sit at your pew, and pray to the gods of gaming. And so what do you guys like more? All going out to a club together or all going to a PC bong together?
저는 클럽 가는 게 싫어요. PC방 너무 싫어요. I hate club. PC방.
So night has fallen, some people are going into clubs and bars, but the gamers are still gaming.
During the day, PC bongs are filled with solitary gamers, but at night, it becomes a much more social activity. we met up with a group of college gamers who ran an esports streaming studio out of their dorm rooms. They wanted to show us their idea of a good time, pre-drinks and gaming.
It looks like everyone's dressed up. You all have your party frocks on.
It's just, yeah.
Where do you guys usually like to go out?
PC cafe.
And is it normal? Oh, and is it normal to mix like PC bongs and going out, or is that just your guys' thing?
That's kind of what nerdy guys like us. Like, our government think game as something to drink or cigarettes. Yeah, in the same way. I think like this is the same as playing like soccer or baseball.
Yeah.
The government or the grown-ups doesn't think like that. It's like a sushi.
Or it's trying to climb inside of my lips. Is it normal for it to just like cling to the inside of your throat and to stay there?
How do you feel?
It feels like there's an octopus in my throat. That very quickly turned into a scene out of Old Boy. So we're like 4 sojus and 2 beers and 1 octopus down. Now we're at a PC bong. So I expect there's gonna be a lull in the night because we were just having a good time, having conversations, and now they're just gonna play video games all day. So I guess that's the end to our short-lived friendship. I'm just gonna just linger back here and wait for them to finish, and then maybe afterwards we can be friends again. We were having fun up to a second ago, and now all everyone's doing is just tapping away at a computer. They don't even serve alcohol here.
As the college crew were locked into their game, I noticed some people asleep in their chairs. Before I fell asleep myself, it was time to put my foot down. I took the lull between games as an opportunity to bring everyone outside and hailed a cab to Korea's biggest super club.
So we're about to go into Seoul's super club, Octagon, and we've just found out that the guy with the glasses, it's his first time ever in a nightclub, so I'm interested to see if this totally blows his mind. Maybe he'll never game again after tonight.
I think air is so hot.
What?
Air is so hot, I think.
Air.
Air.
Oh, the air here is so hot. Yeah, it's gonna be, yeah, well, it's gonna be very hot, yeah. What song do you want? Huh? What do you want? Vodka, tequila, So, Sonyoung, this is your first experience of a club. What was your first impression?
일단 정말 많이 시끄럽고 좀 정신이 없었는데 근데 좀 이제 그 음악이라고 해야 되나? 음악이 몸을 울리는데 온몸을 치는 것 같아가지고 저를 공격하는 것 같은 느낌.
Did you ever at any point wish that we were back in the PC bong?
딱 한 번. 그러니까 제가 춤을 추다 보니까 조금씩 너무 조금 나는 지쳤다. 그러니까 PC방으로 실감하고 싶다라는 생각이 들었어요.
He just looks so out of place outside of a PC bong. But he got into the music, he had a few drinks, and I think he ended up really liking it. I'd totally go clubbing with him again. He smashed it in Octagon.
For Seoul's young gamers, it all starts out in a PC bong. But if things go well, they'll end up in a professional gaming house. Often recruited at the age of 17, the gaming house will become their new home until they change teams or retire, and players will live, eat, sleep, and train together under one roof. For most gamers, this is their first time living away from their parents, so the coach's job isn't just to train them, but to act as a guardian and father figure. The responsibility of caring for 20 young adults while also trying to turn a profit can be a lot to handle.
제 선수들한테 그런 좋은 대우를 못 해주고 있어요. 지금 제가 많은 돈을 투자를 하고 있고 스폰서가 좋은 스폰서들이 많이 없기 때문에 그래서 굉장히 안타까워하고 있고 정말 아쉬워요. 제 선수들에게 좀 더 많은 좋은 대우를 해주고 싶은데 그걸 못하는 일이 됐어. 근데 이제 뭐 승부 조작이라고 해서 스타크래프트 1을 주 종목으로 하던 시절이었고 그 종목에 몇몇 선수들이나 이런 뭐 좀 좋지 않은 사람들이 연루돼서 그때 스캔들이 한 번 있었고 그때 굉장한 위기를 맞이했었고 한국 e스포츠 자체가.
Not everyone cares so strongly about their players' well-being. For some coaches, financial gain is more important. Esports history has been through multiple match-fixing scandals. One episode in particular was the biggest scandal in esports history, and it nearly resulted in one of its most gifted stars paying the ultimate price. His name is Chun Min-ki, but he's better known by his gamer name, Promise.
한국에서는 저를 피미르라고 부르는데 외국 사람들이 피미르 발음을 잘 못하더라고요. 그래서 그냥 프로미스로 바꿨어요. 약속을 많이 했어요. 약속을 많이 하고 다녔어요. 뭐 잘하겠다 하고 약속 지키겠다는 의미로 그냥 프로미스로 바뀌었어요.
So when did you first get into gaming?
3살? 그냥 마냥 중학교 때는 게임이 좋았는데 이제 그냥 마냥 그냥 준비를 되게 열심히 했어요. 그 프로 생활 준비를 그냥 가난하니까 뭐 하루에 식사 뭐 컵라면 1개, 캔커피 2개였고 그냥 가끔씩 팬들이 뭐 배 안 고프냐고 뭐 음식 배달 시켜주고 그렇게 해서 뭐 그냥 연습했는데.
Promise's coach started the team on borrowed money and had gotten himself into some serious debt. At the time, the players knew nothing about this. The coach tried to earn back the money through match fixing and forced his team to throw their games.
What was your relationship like with the team's manager?
말 되게 잘하는 사기꾼이었죠. 승부 조작을 하라고 하는데 그거를 이제 엄청 잘 속였어요. 그러니까 하기 싫고 그냥 나가서 그냥 내 하고 싶은 플레이 하고 싶고 그런데 뭐 안 하면은 뭐 선수 생활 접게 하겠다 뭐 이런 얘기가 나오니까 그러니까 뭐 그때는 뭐 제가 생각도 없었고 그러니까 그냥 죽기 살기로 게임만 했죠 진짜. 그냥 나오게 되니까 그냥 그때부터는 이제 마음이 너무 힘든 거예요. 그냥 제가 그것 때문에 다시 이제 인생의 재기를 못할 정도로 그냥 계속 부정적인 생각만 드니까 그러다 결국에는 제가 좀 안 좋은 쪽으로 뭐 자살하는 쪽으로 해서 이제.
The shame of intentionally losing was too much for Promise, and after posting a suicide note online, he jumped off of a 12-story building. He was 21 at the time. Miraculously, he survived when his body smashed through the roof of a recycling center, breaking his fall and putting him into a coma. After an excruciating 11-hour surgery, where doctors had to reattach his jaw, Promise began to recover. The professional gaming community quickly mobilized to raise funds for Promise's medical bills.
손에 흉이 많은데 흉이 되게 큰데 그냥 흉이 되게 크지만은 뭐 처음에는 손이 안 움직였어요. 그냥 오른손이 완전 아작이 났거든요. 그냥.
After the ordeal, players around the world started a secret support network of esports athletes to ensure that they would never again fall victim to exploitation and corruption in professional gaming.
팬분들이랑 그냥 뭐 모금해주신 분들 그렇고 말이라도 따뜻하게 해주신 분들도 고맙고 뭐 그리고 협회에서도 그렇고 뭐 캐스파 협회에서도 그렇고 라이엇에서도 이제 뭐 지원해주셔서 그냥 건강하게 어느 정도 건강하게 돌아왔으니까 그래서 지금 주목도 줄 수 있고 게임도 할 수 있고 그래요.
These are the formative years of your life, really, and at that age, parents, teachers, or in this case, the managers of gaming teams have a responsibility and a duty of care. He was a young guy, and that person decided to exploit him for money. And with the added weight of performing on your shoulders, it must just be damaging to everything you understand about the world. And it led him to do the worst thing a person can do to themselves.
On the eve of the biggest game in esports history, it had finally sunk in just how high the stakes can get. The moment had arrived. From being spurned by esports royalty to having my brain zapped by an addiction therapist, via PC bongs, Lamborghinis, and robot costumes, I had finally got here. The World Finals.
We're at Seoul World Cup Stadium, the biggest stadium in Korea, and it's here where the League of Legends World Championship is happening. Everyone we've met has been waiting for this moment. If you're a gamer, this is the most inspiring, most important event in all of history. There's going to be entire cosplay teams who spent weeks preparing their costumes, tens of thousands of screaming fans cheering for who they want to win. But most importantly, only one team is going to go home crowned the League of Legends World Champions.
On stage, the costumes looked amazing, but while we were backstage, the downsides to wearing a 12-foot suit of armor quickly became obvious.
Did he draw the short straw and have to wear that? Can he walk forward or just sideways like a crab? All the teams are here, CSL, Spiral Cats are here too. So this is the moment we've all been waiting for. That giant costume back at CSL's cosplay house is now going to come to life with all the parts assembling. It's probably the biggest, most outrageous, most unlikely and impractical cosplay costume, well, in history. So the giant dragon thing's arm just fell off while everyone was watching. I guess that's one of the downsides to taking cosplay to this level.
When the competition's this fierce, the only way to win is to go bigger and bolder than every other team. It seemed like the Korean cosplay scene was witnessing an arms race of epic and irrational proportions.
Everyone knows Cow Guy, like everyone is taking photos with him. When I interviewed him, I just thought he was a random guy dressed as a cow. He still is, but to these people, he's also more than that.
And there he was. With a whole new entourage and a whole new do, it was High from Cloud9.
Hey man. Oh, sorry. What happened with the Spiral Cats? Did you ever end up hanging out with them? What? With the Spiral Cats, did you ever end up hanging out with them? Nice. Cool.
When did you want to do things? Later?
Yeah, sure. If you're around, like, it'd be cool, yeah.
I'll be somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm pretty easy to spot, so.
Pretty easy to spot? Yeah. All right, cool, man. Well, thanks. Thank you. Bye. It's so hard to get, like, 1 minute with live from Cloud9. There's, like, 40,000 people all waiting to get in.
By the time we entered the stadium, it was already swag o'clock. With enough swag being thrown out into the audience to feed an entire army of LoL fans.
You didn't get a swag, you can get the swag at their game too. You can get the whole swag. So don't worry about that and have fun. Thank you.
If we didn't get swag the first time round, there's gonna be another couple rounds, so that's a load off.
As the fans took their seats, the countdown to the opening ceremony began. Nothing could have prepared me for what was about to happen. I couldn't believe the scale of the whole event. Before each team walked on, they were introduced by a dramatic video segment that was packed full of expensive CGI graphics. After a Korean drum ceremony, we were treated to a performance by an American rock band called Imagine Dragons. They're one of those groups that are somehow really famous, but you'd never meet anyone who actually listens to them.
This is a computer game that we are all gathered here to watch. A computer game.
Once the opening ceremony came to an explosive end, the players sat down, chose their characters, and the competition began. Samsung White versus Starhorn Royal Club for a prize of $1 million.
Again, we'll see if Royal Club can get under the skin of Samsung White.
After sacrificing so much of their young lives, having defeated the best teams from every corner of the world, these 10 players were locked into a struggle that would decide the future kings of a game played by 70 million people.
Here he comes. He's in stealth. There's the alert. They know he's there, but they don't know who he's on. He eats Uzi right away. Luper's going to be able to give a little bit. Dandy gets the heal, and he flashes out perfectly. Here comes Pawn from the side.
Samsung White had the upper hand from the get-go, swiftly beating Starhorn in the first 2 games. Smelling defeat in the air, Starhorn made a bitter last stand and managed to pull a game back.
Here comes the clean-up team. He's going to let it go. The flash over. Uzi will get it. He's going to go towards him. Double kill down for Uzi. Royal Club do the impossible. They take game 3 against White, and we're going to be going to game 4. The series is still alive. They have the emotions to keep it going. It's something that led him to the win over OMG. They have the longevity. They have the mentality to stay in these best-of-5 series and play for the long haul.
But their luck had run out. As hard as they fought, in the end, they were no match for their Korean counterparts.
The second Nexus are for. They're going to focus in on the Nexus itself, and Samsung White are the 2014 World Champions. What a sight.
After almost 4 hours of unbroken concentration and high-speed gameplay, Samsung White had done it. They demolished Starhorn in 3 out of 4 matches, letting Korea keep its position as the world's esports powerhouse for another year.
This is a victory that's going to go down in history as the biggest and the most covered, with the most lights, the most fireworks ever to happen in the whole world of esports.
The cup hoisted in front of the home crowd. Pleased with the victory, pleased with the games, and the games were absolutely amazing.
The closest I could get to meeting the newly crowned world champions was through another strictly controlled press junket.
Can you tell me about the emotion of winning the title here in Korea, in this stadium, in front of 40,000 people?
우승을 했지만 좀 뭔가 아쉬워요. 그게 뭐냐면은 저희가 경기하느라 정신이 없어가지고 많은 환호를 더 느끼지 못한 게 좀 아쉬운데 근데 이번 우승이 한국에서 우승한 거라고 생각하니까 더 이게 뭔가 뭐라 해야 되지? 기분이 좀 설명을 잘 못 드리겠는데 좀 기분이 좀 남달라요.
롯컵 상금은 어마어마한데 상금은 어떻게 쓰실 거예요?
상금을 그냥 일단 다 놔줄 생각이고 뭐 보통은 다 적금하겠죠. 저장해두겠죠.
I finally got the chance to ask the one question that had been answered by everyone except the players themselves.
So this is a question for the whole team. Do you guys consider yourselves to be professional computer game players or athletes?
운동선수가 아니고 저는 네.
저는 운동선수라고 생각해요. 육체로 하는 게 아니지만 마음으로.
저도 운동선수라고 생각해요.
저도 운동선수라고 생각합니다.
저는 그 가운데 있다 생각해요.
I wanted to know, do these guys consider themselves athletes or not? To everyone else, they already were athletes. They were focusing on how they were athletes, what amazing moves they were doing, how their strategy brought them to victory. Is it athletics? Is it not? It's its own thing entirely, and it's something that's very much born out of today.
This is the World Championships.
In Anaheim, California, 5,500 excited fans cheered and gasped, watching on a giant screen as two players battled for the World Championship of the video game StarCraft II.
But here comes live for the big four, trying to get the wraparound ball on all these Marines. He's not even having the opportunity to pick too many of them up.
This is like the Super Bowl, basically, for us.
At Chicago's Ignite Gaming Lounge, crowds lined up before midnight, not to play video games.
On the blue side, it's Starhorn Royal Club.
But to watch the League of Legends World Championship being played half a world away in South Korea.
This is the only sport I watch.
And in Seoul, more than 40,000 people packed into a stadium to watch the games live.
And his opponent in the top left.
It was in South Korea that video game competitions like this, called esports, first exploded as spectator sports.
I'd go there and you'd have these huge ballrooms, all these young people, all excited about these young players that were becoming celebrities.
Paul Sands is chief operating officer of Blizzard, the company